All right, guys, welcome back. This is ESL One Mumbai 2019, powered by Intel, the NA regional qualifiers. We've got Flying Penguins versus Team Team duking it out here in the lower bracket final. Flying Penguins is up one game right now after a very patient game coming out from them, and a little bit of a throw, unfortunately, coming out from Team Team. But I'm your caster Moxie. I'm here with the wonderful Jenkins Dota. Jenkins, they banned out the Viper, which I think is super smart, and they banned out the Chen. What else do you think they are going to ban out?
Oh man, I mean, I think Ursa's a good enough hero that you can first phase ban it and not feel that bad about it. And I feel like the Ursa was pretty problematic, and so was the Ember. Like, I do feel like after the last game, it's like it was kind of like a miraculous comeback. Team picked a specialty draft. They did really well with it. They threw. Flying Penguins had a really good high ground defense, and yeah, I think you honestly you want to be afraid of the specialty picks. You want to give respect to it because it almost beat you. That was very close. But well, the Lich ban is that's a pretty Mike targeted ban. Mike plays a lot of Lich. I've seen that these guys have first picked Lich quite a lot, just as like a staple pick. I guess if they think, okay, we ban Lich, and then they're gonna pick Lion again, and Lion's like a food. So they first pick the Coddle again.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that they go in for the Coddle. There's still an Ember Spirit too in the pool, and I felt like Gunnar did a really great job on that here, especially considering he was up against the OD in that last game.
Yeah, that was nice. Some mind games going on here. It seems like otherwise, I mean, you have to pay respect to these specialty heroes where I mean you 2-0 a team in one day, and then the next day they pick specialty heroes, and then they kind of destroy you in the early to mid game, and then they throw. I feel like you have to be playing at some sort of mind games or like mental draft if you. Okay, there it is. There's the Ember Spirit. So just deny picking it instead of banning it.
Mhm.
I thought they would just ban it, but I suppose if you have a capable Ember Spirit player yourselves, which Eternal Envy, of course, is an Ember Spirit specialist, then you can just block pick it, or try to bait it as like a first pick and then have some sort of response. But this is a nice little play to make in the draft. Mentally speaking, it's like, all right, you beat us with the Ember, and we'll show you what we can do with it. Or sorry, you almost beat us with the Ember, I should say.
Yeah, I
We'll show
mean,
you what we
like
can do
I
with it.
like I said, it feels like it's I was surprised that it was still in the pool, and then it felt almost like a deny pick for sure. And they'll still pick up the OD for Ryoya, and he did plenty of work with that hero. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's like the hardest laning counter to Ember. It's excellent against Ember in the game, to most degrees, just because you can drain his mana. You have the sheep stick. Uh, Lots of ways of dealing with Ember. So you pick the Ember so they can't get it, and then you pick the OD so they can't get the response of the OD. And do you really want to pick an Ursa into this? If you have the kiting of the Ember, Ember's very hard to lock down. He can just jump away from you. He has the searing chains, which you're going to have to use the Ursa and Rage to get off. OD can just imprison the Ursa. OD can drain the Ursa's mana. So, like, do you want to pick an Ursa here? That's probably what they're thinking about.
well,
And then
they'll
they
get
pick
the
a
Life
lifesteal.
Stealer instead. That is another hero that has been, as we classified as like an S tier hero, very, very good, especially against, the Maggot Damage coming out from the Ember Spirit and the Outworld Devourer.
Yeah, that's an extremely good pick in this game. It's just not. It's just a regular hero though. The way I see it, like it's not a Sammy Boy specialty. Of course, he can play it. Like any carry player at this level is going to be able to play a life stealer, but the Ursa is like he's a special breed of Ursa player. But when it's such a good life stealer game, you have to pick it. It's a first phase hero for a lot of other teams, and Ember OD, like you said, it's just all magic damage. It's so easy to punish with a like a life stealer or jug pick, and life stealer's the better of the two options because he can actually right click while
Now, is
he's
this
magic immune.
is this a situation where we might actually see something like a Razor get picked up in the off lane to kind of deal with the Life Stealer?
Yeah, I would like to see that. I don't like the idea of just leaving a life stealer totally uncountered. Like we talked about, he's an S tier hero, and I think a lot of his success at the start of the patch was due to people still treating it as if it was the old lifestealer and playing like a regular game of Dota, but it's not like that anymore. There's a lifesteal on the enemy team. You have to counter it, or you will regret it. So, yeah, I think like Weaver, Ursa, which they banned out. Razor is a good option against a lifestealer. Let's see. Support wise, there's really good options like Shadow Demon and Bane. These are excellent options because they're BKB piercing. If you can get some sort of like Bane Razor, that would be phenomenal. I could see Lelis picking up a Bane here.
That is a South American specialty. You see a lot of the South American players picking up Bane. Just has good disable again through the BKB as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yes.
No, they said yeah, absolutely not. They don't want to see that Bane. There's still an Elder Titan in the pool too. That is a hero. Again, you know, usually more suited towards heroes that have like very high agility, something like a Morphling, or like a PA Spectre. But there is an Elder Titan. He's seen a lot of play lately.
Yeah, he's definitely a good hero, but he's just not particularly great against Lifestealer. It's kind of a regular hero against Lifestealer, I guess, because he's just not the agi hero that you can. Strength carries are always a problem for ET because, you know, he still does good stuff. He kites you. He has the Earth Splitter. He has the Stomp, but the aura is just not a problem for Lifestealer at all. Is the only thing. But it is a good hero. So it's a very good hero. It could be good against some of the other heroes that Team might draft. I feel like a Razor would be good, but you don't need to. I wouldn't be worried about Team picking it because if you have like a Razor Lifestealer versus Amber OD, I mean, I guess it could be good, but you just would lane the OD versus the Razor, and I think do pretty fine.
Or you might want to. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Your mic quality is coming through a little bit fuzzy right now, and I don't know if it's an internet connection or if it might be your microphone, but
right,
maybe double check that.
Is that better?
That was just very quick, so I have no idea.
Hello, testing 1, 2.
Oh, that's
3.
way better. Way better.
Oh, sweet, okay.
That was very strange. What did you do to change it that much?
I jiggled the cord a little bit.
Okay, all right.
It works. Sometimes life just gives you lemons and you have to make apple juice, is what they say.
I don't believe that is what they say. And it's still a little bit fuzzy. Maybe leave the call and come back. See if that fixes it. Sometimes Discord can just be a little fussy. They do pick up that Vengeful Spirit, though. Again, that has a BKB piercing spell, being able to go and get the swap off. All right, hello. Jenkins, hello.
How are we sounding?
Sounds a little bit better, I think. Again, it's only a couple phrases, so we'll find out.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Lots of reserve time being used here.
I mean, this is crunch time for Team because they got 2 out yesterday by Flying Penguins, and this is their chance to, you know, come back. But I'm sure they're feeling that pressure right now, you know. If they don't manage to win this game, they'll be out of ESL completely. So they're taking some time thinking about, you know, what's going to work out well with these heroes, what's going to, you know, slow down the Ember or whatever. I mean, the Night Stalker was a great solution, I felt, to the Ember Spirit because he has that ground silence. But the Oracle's nice too. It's going to be able to, you know, throw out that, what is it, where it makes you...
Purge the shield?
Purge the shield, first of all, but also the fact that you can make it so you don't take that magic damage, right?
You can't remember the Oracle spells because nobody can.
No, I play Oracle. I think it's...
Fate's Edict? Is that it?
Yeah, Fate's Edict. Fate's Edict, because Purifying Flames is the nuke, and then
the
Fortune's End is the...
Right.
Yeah.
All of his spells are just so random and complicated that they're like, all right, we're just going to pick random, like, Fate guy sounding
I know what my buttons do. When I'm playing the hero, I know the buttons. I know which ones to hit when, but... Right,
so do I. Like, every time I press the W button, my team gets really mad at me and says they're disarmed, which I don't get, but... You know, I keep doing it on them, so...
Oh god, Jenkins, you're such a griefer.
Enigma. All right, they got some BKB piercing stuff for this lifesteal.
They've got a lot of
Venge. They have the Enigma. Good answers. Definitely good answers. Could be a support Enigma still. Like, they could still pick a Razor and Venge 5 and then Enigma 4 roll. Team did that yesterday, and I think it looked pretty nice, despite them losing. It looked like a pretty cool strat where you get the Helm Dom and you just rush the safe lane tower. and then just roam to like the mid lane with the black hole and just get 2 free towers off the Enigma's power spike. It seems like a really cool strat.
Well,
And
what's
then it
really
gives free farm to like the offlaner too.
What's really cool about all of this is the fact that you do have Lelis on the side of Flying Penguins. And like back when he was on SG, I would say he was one of the best offlaners South America. So if you wanted to run this as a support Enigma, run it as a 5, this is a guy who is he's no stranger to this hero. He knows it quite well. Maybe, obviously it's a little bit different when you're not getting farm priority, so you can't do quite as much with it, but he will be able to handle that. So if they decide, depending if it's Snake King on it or Lelis, it's in pretty good hands. I wouldn't actually be surprised, too, if they actually just swapped it around, right? Because I know at one point Snake King was playing the position 5 and Lelis was playing the position 3. So you've got a little bit of flexibility with that, too.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Like if they... I guess Flea's hero is kind of the only problem for me, is what does he play? Like I don't see Flea as a big Venge player. Once again, like Flea is a very... I consider him to be on the same kind of category of Nusham, this being this like really high skill 4-role player that you want to do super impressive high skill stuff, and Venge is not a high skill hero. Enigma
Right.
is, but I don't think he plays Enigma. I'm not sure if he's an Enigma specialty player. He's a Willow player. We saw that last game, but Enigma, it's like, yeah, I'm sure he can play it, but you want your high skill 4-role players to be walking around and doing really sick stuff and just owning people.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So I don't know what the plan is then, if they want to grab, because what are they going to do about these birds, right? You've got Visage now brought out by Team Team. Do they have a good solution for them?
Yeah, honestly, I think so. You have Ember Spirit, who cleaves and just deals with the birds, especially if they're not near the Visage. You can even use the double root on them. And then OD has the pure damage, which is now AoE. So I think they have pretty good answers for the birds. OD's a pretty good answer for the Visage too, because if you hit him with your orb, it takes away 2 of his what's his armor called? Gravekeeper's Cloak.
Yep.
It's another hero that has like complicated, ridiculous spell names, but yeah, the Gravekeeper's Cloak. So if you hit with OD, it takes off 2 of the cloaks, because it counts the attack and then the orb that comes after too.
Oh, okay.
So it will shred Visage, and then obviously any hero who is tanky, OD naturally loves to just hit them over and over, because it's like, sure, give me some more free in. I'm fine with that.
So why do you think they decided to go with a Visage then, if they've got such good answers for it?
Because Sammy Boy is a Visage player extraordinaire. I have a theory that this is going to be a Gunner Lifestealer and a Sammy Boy Visage and a Brax Pangolier.
Ooh, Brax Pangolier. I'm pretty excited to see that.
He loves this hero. He's been playing this one. Brax is such a wacky guy. Like, Pangolier is just the best hero for him. Just go in and make things crazy. It's a high skill hero too. Like, there's a lot of low skill offlaners. Sven's definitely not a high skill cap offlaner. Maybe it's decent, but you just run in with auras. Pangolier, you actually have to be able to press your buttons really well. So, and Brax is a player who's fully capable. There are some people who do better on like the tanky frontline aura heroes for whatever reason, maybe personality. Brax can do fine on those, but once again, similar to like Flea and Nusham, I think it's nice to see him on something that's more has a higher skill cap, because I think he can handle it.
All right, well, we're definitely going to find out for sure. It's funny that because you've got these personal relationships with all of these different players. When I've met Brax, he seemed like so sleepy. Every time that I've seen him, he's a very sleepy individual. So when you say that he's very wacky, like crazy guy, I'm like, thinking.
He's not crazy. He's wacky. He's like silly. And Pangolier is like that, but that's why he's it's a perfect mix for offlane. Like, in the offlane, you can get a little bit nuts.
Did you just notice that Brax is playing the Lifestealer?
Yeah.
Gunner's going to be playing the Pango. All right,
all right, well, congratulations to Flying Penguins on the bracket.
Wow, just gave up like that.
I'm not so sure about Gunner Pango. I know he says that he can play it.
He's played at mid, and he got absolutely destroyed when he played at mid in the Dream League quals.
Okay, yeah, once again, I'm not flaming Gunner. The guy, obviously, seeing his Ember Spirit last game, he's very good. top 3 in NA, a lot of heroes. I'm not sure if Pango's on that list, but I can see him as the type of guy to say that it's on that list. Because it's a fun hero. Gunnar likes playing fun heroes. You know why Team doesn't pick Viper?
Because it's not boring. A fun hero.
Yes. That's why they don't pick Viper.
They should probably ban it though when they're up against Flying Penguins. Just throwing that out there.
The sad thing is I'm not even kidding.
Hey,
I remember the size that we would get if we ever picked Gunnar Viper. He'd be so done. Even if you won, it wouldn't feel like a win because he's just like, you mentally lose it. You know what I mean? Because you're like, I have to play Viper.
I mean, if that's your moral compass for Dota 2, you don't want to play heroes that are too easy and that are too boring, then good for you.
Hey man, if Miracle asks for a hero and you think it's stupid, you give Miracle the hero. If you have a player on your team who's high skill and they ask you for a hero, it's your job as a teammate to trust them. So we'll see in this game if there are regrets with trusting each other, and if there are going to be trust issues in the future. We will see. I'm not getting Dota audio for some reason. This is weird. What's going on?
I actually just had problems with that too, and I had to rechange it. I don't know what happened. For me, I think it was probably. Oh, you know what it might have been? If you mess with your sound settings, sometimes it resets it in Dota. Because that's what I just had to do. Because you were saying that I was coming through robotic, and I went and I had to replug and everything.
Okay. So. Default. Oh God, I'm crashing.
Yeah, possibly? Double check.
Oh
and
boy, thank goodness there's a pause.
A PSA to everyone to never hesitate to mute a rude player. Can really save your game sometimes. Avoid that tilt, avoid that toxicity that might leak out of yourself.
That's a good PSA.
Just enjoy Dota 2. Enjoy casting spells. Don't pick Silencer though, because Silencer is the worst.
Yeah, I mean...
Nothing like a hero who's like, you wanted to play? You wanted to cast some cool spells in Dota 2? Well, ha! I'm gonna press my R button. What is happening?
It's still paused, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm like having issues too. I can't control Alt Delete for whatever reason.
That's not good either.
It's this bug where if you have Dota in borderless windowed mode, you can't close out of it, but it also doesn't let you open up other windows, so you can't control Alt Delete it. Very legit stuff. So I'm actually gonna have to restart my computer, I think. So I'll be back.
All right. We'll look forward to your return.
I look forward to.
This is why we need to go to the Join Dota studios, guys, because everything goes a little sideways. Otherwise, it beams. But yeah. Anyways, while Jenkins is going to go and fix his PC here, we'll take a look at some of these hats on guys. This Visage set is pretty cool. It's a lot of nice polygons on this guy here. He looks kind of like he's made out of paper, actually. And I think, what was it? Who was it? The Pango, Gunnar's Pango. Looked pretty cool, too. I'll take a look at him. Look at this guy. He's got a rose in his mouth. He's ready for romancing. He's ready for fighting. He's ready to just... What's the phrase? That's the Mulan song. That's just like... I'll make a man out of you. That's what's going on here with this Pangolier. But yeah, so as we said earlier, these teams have fought yesterday when they first were starting the playoffs here, and Flying Penguins was able to clinch the series out 2-0. So this is the chance now. We are in the lower bracket final where Flying Penguins, they might be able to do this again, take them out in a quick 2-0 sweep, or we'll see that team will be able to get their foot back into the doorway, maybe take it to another game, and knock Flying Penguins out. So, it's kind of fun when you're seeing these regional qualifiers, being able to see, all these teams that are, as Jenkins likes to say, very equal in terms of skill, but sometimes, just make a couple bad mistakes or have some issues with the draft. So it's really anyone's game. You never know what's going to happen, especially when you've got, Oh, welcome back. Especially when you got this guy here.
Was that intentional?
Jackie Mao, Eternal Envy.
Eternal Envy. I knew you were hovering over him without even being in Dota.
Oh yeah, there's only one man that gets that kind
this
of
man.
that gets that kind of an introduction. There's only one guy. Especially
really
when you're in NA.
So Ryoya is in the off lane on the OD with Flea on Enigma.
Yeah, I
I
have
was
no idea
wrong.
what's happening. No
And
idea what's
Snake
happening.
King's here too, kind of. Okay, Riori is just fighting the rune. Good stuff, good stuff. Sammy Boy mid against OD. I'm not sure how this matchup goes. I would imagine OD does pretty well.
Can we report Flea for not having Enigma taunt? GG.
We really should. I mean, he's pretty naked too. He just has the bracers. Like, where he doesn't have the fish set, doesn't have the golden set. What is happening with this guy's items?
I don't know, but they will go Ruberea into play. Snake King coming forward. They'll be able to get themselves 2 runes top, and looks like they'll be able to just get themselves 1 in the bottom. But that's 3 runes going over to the side of Flying Penguins. So they gotta feel pretty happy about that right now.
Yeah, that's pretty legit when you win a rune fight with an Enigma on your team, because this hero is garbage at level 1. Total garbage.
Oh yeah, all you got are those Eidolon babies.
Until the creep spawn, then he's great. Then he's good.
It feels like this lane's going to be a little difficult for Snake King right now. Although I do have the Eidolons trying to do a little bit of damage over here to IX Mike. And they do a decent amount, maybe not as much as like those Treants do. Coming out from Nature's Prophet, but of course Summon's always...
Gunner, careful, dog.
He's going to be able to go and maybe take out some of these Eidolons. IX Mike.
This is actually going to be a really hard lane for Snake King. So Ix Mike can just purge. He just purges the Jingu if he gets it. So there's no point in even getting 3 stacks of Jingu. You're just forced to purge. That's all. 75 mana cost, 120 damage. He's fine with casting that spell.
He's also got to watch out too for once he starts getting some points into those Purifying Flames. Because it's going to be able to nuke him down pretty nicely. Kind of interesting that we've got Brax and an off-lane Lifestealer. Lelis. Gotta be careful though, Eternal Envy taking a decent amount of damage here from Nusham.
These lanes are really good for Team Team. Team Team's going to win top. You have Lifestealer versus Ember Spirit bot. That's a Lifestealer favorite matchup because he has the magic immunity and he also has physical damage. And then mid, Sammy Boy's doing... he's doing decent against the OD. It's about even. So,
They're pretty calm so far. I don't think we're going to start seeing any like true kill potential until we start getting levels 2s and 3 on most of these guys at this time. It's not like they've got a very...
J-Mao's having a pretty bad time in the bot lane though. Like, this guy is not farming at all. Brax is obliterating this lane. And this is really the big problem for either team. This is bottom lane for the Radiant.
This is what I'm talking about here on Snake. He actually gets silenced up with that lucky shot, and there's the nuke coming out from IX Mike. Gunner throwing out that tip over to Snake King.
They need to swap these lanes. These lanes are not good. Like, why would you want Monkey King against Lifestealer, right? Like, Lifestealer doesn't do anything to a Monkey King. And then you would want the Ember Spear who can root the Pangolier.
Yeah, I feel like they might want some sort of a rotation. Just trying to even out these lanes, but of course they could always just rotate as well, so then you just have the musical lanes going on, which can make things pretty difficult, especially when you're already a little bit behind here. Eternal Envy, you know, 4-2 right now for CS versus the 13-5 off-lane Lifestealer. That is not what you want right now. He's getting harassed so much by Brax. Look at this.
This is a rough one. Brax is 1 point in Feast. He hasn't even skilled anything else. He doesn't know what he needs. All he needs is the level 1 in Feast, and he's able to win this lane.
Yep. Get a little bit of a fight here going on between Nusham and Lullis as they try to go for that pull.
Yeah, Nusham's just trying to steal it. This perfect. I mean, Coddle loves if you do this.
Oh yeah.
He's cool with this.
You got to make sure that you're not stacking when there's a Coddle in your lane, and there's nothing that you can do about contesting it.
Yeah, Nusham gets a whole level from that, so...
Sammy Boy's struggling pretty much over here. He's like at 19 and 6 right now in Ryoya, and 11 and... sorry, not 11, 10 and 4. On the Visage bottom lane, though, Lelis actually going to get taken down here. They find an opening. Brax gets himself a nice kill on the Vengeful Spirit.
Hey, that's why he was saving those points. He could have gone for 2 points in Feast and harassed the Ember a little bit more.
Ooh, and looks like we get another kill over on Snaking. This is the problem, right? Because, you know, we talk about IX Mike having that purge, being able to take off the stacks of Jingu, but you've also got to keep in mind the fact that he just does a lot of nuke damage. He's got 2 points in those Purifying Flames. He's able to go and use the Fortune's End just to nuke off the healing portion of it, and then Gunnar just zips in. He's got a point in that lucky shot.
When was the Monkey King picked? That's my question. Was the Monkey King last pick?
Yes, it was last pick.
Into an Oracle? That seems kind of nutty to me. Like you're already, the Oracle counters the Ember Spirit shield, and you're giving him something else to purge.
Brax finding kill, and Eternal Envy looks like he's not long for this world either. One more hit should do the trick. Oh no, Envy gonna be able to hide himself around here. Sitting very, very low. He's got to be so careful right now. Just one Illuminate to the face could take him out. He has no healing salve. 5-minute rune's coming up, though, and it looks like, again, Flea trying to do some damage here over into the jungle, but we'll get Lucky Shot up here. He's got to run himself away, and he's just out of spells completely. Isn't going to be able to do anything other than just try to slowly float himself out, but I guess this is space for Snaking, so you're happy with this, right?
Yeah, he needs some farm. The thing with this is, like, Snaking, sure, he's dying, but he's also getting solo experience. Francis has just been jungling, so it's not the worst. It's not the absolute worst thing, despite him dying up here. He's still higher level than Gunnar is. So, you know, you have that trade-off, but Flea has to come up here to protect him now, and all of a sudden this experience advantage that they had is just going to even out.
Envy's having such a hard time down here. He's got to be careful. They've got the Illuminate up. He's going to make it over to the shrine.
That was close.
He's struggling so much. Top lane, though, we do have a rotation coming up from Lelis. They should be able to take down IX Mike here. He's hiding over into the trees. It's going to be Flea who finds that final hit. So is this going to be worth it? What's going on over here in mid? Sammy boy, you are on the wrong side of the river right now here, buddy. Sanity's Eclipse comes through. They need to get maybe one more hit, and Eternal Envy will happily take that cleanup kill.
God, Envy needed that so badly. I'm pretty sure that he got...
Top lane, Gunnar in for some trouble. He's going to have to go use that swashbuckle to get himself away. IX Mike standing in the middle of all of that. Lovely Midnight Pulse now. Newsham making a rotation as well. They're still looking for him here. Snake King trying to find that opening. He's sitting very low, and they have the creep wave. They could go back in on the Snays, looking for the opening again. They turn their attention over onto the Oracle. They're going to try to get some of these stacks up as Snake King jumps over here into the trees, jumps right back down again, has his eyes on IX Mike's. Will be able to find that kill, and I don't know. Gunnar also just... Magic Missile coming through. Snake King gets himself a double kill. And Newsham's in so much trouble. Are they going to allow it? Is he going to be able to find it? Is this going to be a triple kill? Yes, it is. Snake King finds himself a pony boy.
Okay, well, that was a great rotation from Lelis, just making it so that this top lane, if it's a dual lane versus dual lane, and you have a Monkey King getting purged by the Oracle, you're gonna lose. But if you just kill the Oracle because you have 3 heroes, that's different. It's a totally different ball game up here.
That was a great rotation.
Yeah, that was super nice.
Absolutely great. That's exactly what they really needed coming up from the side of Flying Penguins here. And they need to alleviate some of the pressure over here on Eternal Envy, right? Because Brax still is just doing a number on him right now. And he's still really struggling to find that farm.
I personally feel like what you want to do is just put the Monkey King down here against Brax and give Eternal Envy some space. Now he's level 6, so he can fight. So he can run around with his... He's got his boots. Now he can run around the top lane and fight. And just put the Monkey King who's going to destroy the Lifestealer. You don't want to just give Lifestealer a free game for no reason.
They're trying to chase after Gunnar again. Snake King jumps up over onto the tree. He's going to be able to jump back down. Has a couple of these stacks over here. Needs one more just to get that Jingu. He's actually going to get broken around, but there's the Boundless coming through, and there's the Magic Missile. See you later, Gunnar. There's a little bit of a scuffle down here as well. Looks like Eternal Envy actually going to be bumped up over here onto the high ground. He is on the wrong side of the river now, as all of these birds are chasing after him. He's going to run right past the curry, just trying to drag them away, so that way they try to go and use a lot of things on him so he can zip away to that remnant. And already, look at the birds. They fly back, thinking that they're going to be able to maybe find themselves a kill, but Envy goes a little far. He is just in the base. All right, this is Clown Fiesta here. Envy just running into the well. Envy? Envy? He mangoes. He's still alive. He might be able to actually make it out. Are you kidding me right now? During all this, IX Mike gets taken down. An Eternal Envy God makes his way back to the bottom lane like nothing even happened. While this big fight goes on here in the top lane, they do find the kill over onto Lelis. They found themselves a courier, but they'll hide it over here into the corner.
Dude, Envy, he didn't TP to base. He had the audacity to do all of that and TP bot to farm.
Well, he knows that this time there wasn't anyone else who TP'd to the tower, so...
Yeah, but it's just like, think about like you're in this situation where you have to buy mangoes in the fountain and zip away, and he has the thought process in his head, well, I want to go bot to farm. Like, how do you have the time to think about that? Anybody else would just be spamming the TP home button. Oh my god.
I mean, he's got, you know, one thing on his mind, and it's going to be that farm, so...
I can't believe it.
That's really fun to watch.
I don't know a single
play.
other Dota player that would think like this, that would be able to make that decision. Like,
Colonel Envy Dota. Rolling Thunder going to come through, though. We'll be able to knock Snake King back again. Flea standing over here on the side. He's only sitting at level 5. They'll use the Illuminate. There's going to be the jump down. They have their eyes over here onto the Coddle, who's going to have to go use that blinding light. Snake King might be in for a little bit of trouble, but the silence comes through. He needs some help from his friends, and he's not going to be able to find it as they take down Snake King. This is allowing a lot of space, though, over here in this mid lane for Ryoya, and we've seen what he can do with this space.
Okay, he's got his full Midas.
Yeah.
Almost treads or tranquils, depending on what he wants to build. Well, treads. That question is answered. I'll be interested to see what he builds first. They have a lot of heroes that need to be disabled. So maybe Sheep first would be good in this game too. But Blink might not be bad either, because they, you know, with the Black Hole, like if he can blink in, and if Black Hole is the disable, like they have decent amount of disable essentially, and. He might not need the blink in this game. He just needs to get into position. We'll see.
Lots of positioning here. They've got their eyes over here onto Gunner. Look at these Eidolons. They do so much damage. Envy going to be able to find himself another kill. And the rest of the supports immediately on the side of Team start backing off. They don't want to have to deal with this. Ryoya just has not left this mid lane, though. He's just so happily just farming. Like you said, he's got that Midas up, and top tower is going to get taken down. They try to get that last hit over on the Venge, but doesn't quite find it here. And now we do see the rotation coming out with Snake King in the bottom lane, and he's able to put some harass over here onto Brax, and I think that was something that's sorely needed, but with Gunner making this rotation and the Rolling Thunder, Snake King is actually just dead.
A little aggressive.
I
think it's the right call, but just a little too aggressive.
I think I think he just didn't know that that Gunner was making that rotation. Last time he saw him, he was in the top lane, so he was feeling probably very, very good about his chances. But that rotation again just really screwed him off. Otherwise, I think he would have been able to tree dance and get out.
Yeah, like you want to passively lane against the nades. It's not like you want to commit to killing him, because then his team just shows up like that and kills you. Keep his back bot, which is good. Yeah, just
he needs
push
some
out the
backup,
wave
though.
with Primal Spring. He's got max Primal Spring, so he can just keep defending these waves. And the thing is, he's an offlaner. He's got a carry in the Ember Spirit, so this is perfect for him. This is what you want to be doing as an offlaner. It's just Monkey King's traditionally not an offlaner, but it's very easy for him to safely push out this tower.
Newsham needs to be a little bit careful over here. But there's a lot of focus down on this bottom tower. I don't know, do you TP people in?
No, I think you just you TP people in if they dive for the Monkey King, but other than that, you just push out and try to stall for as long as possible.
He's doing a good job on it.
But without the spring again, he can't. It's very unsafe for him to go right now. There's too much commitment down here.
He's able to keep tabs, and they actually go for a smoke. I'm not sure if they quite noticed that. They're going to try to wrap around over here onto the OD again, just having way too much free breathing room in this mid lane.
That'd be a huge kill.
And look at him, he's already just walking back. He figures something's got to be up. And meanwhile, top lane, looks like they're going to lose Newsham here. Blinding Light, though, buying a little bit more time, but you can't run away from that slight.
Yeah, they had to kill him for this. They have this Enigma, so they can push all these towers very easily, especially with this dominated siege creep. But the Coddle can push out for so long. Killing him is absolutely crucial. Although I don't know if this trade is great. The mid-tier 1 is very important. It is a tier 2 for a tier 1, but... Although, they're going to defend this.
Yeah, they actually do make the rotation. They figure that Sammy Boy can finish up with these familiars, which they do, in fact. And it looks like they find a kill over onto Lelis here.
That was some nice timing from Team.
I was so busy watching the birds over here. I figured that that flying penguins had enough notice that they were making this rotation that they'd be able to get out fast enough, but I guess not.
That's why it's hard to trade a tier 2 for a tier 1, because You know, not only does it not open up as much of the map if to take a tier 2, you have a tower that has 3 more armor, does way more damage, and has 100 more HP. And then you have a shrine to TP2 as well, so it's that just goes to show how hard it is to take tier 2s versus tier 1s. You can just trade poorly like that.
Like the cheeky play coming out from Mike just takes away Snaking's farm.
Hey man, everything counts.
Oh yeah, every penny counts.
So they're all chilling on this bot lane here. I don't know if they can get the tier 2 just yet. And I don't think they think they can either. Sammy Boy looks like he's just chilling.
We've yet to see a black hole come out too, although a bit of a scuffle coming down here. They've got their eyes over here onto Snaking, and there's going to be the Ignis getting dropped. Snaking trying to run himself out. The Purge comes through. Gunner should be able to find that kill. It's actually going to be IX Mike who gets it with those Purifying Flames.
Yeah, I think there's this like brief period where they can't fight. Envy needs to catch up. OD needs to get probably one more item. Snaking's pretty strong. They need the Enigma Blink too. Like, there's so many.
Oh my gosh, are you serious right now? They almost had Envy's number there. And look at this, the Rolling Thunder coming through. Envy's got to get out of there as fast as he can. Does have that Remnant. He's out. See you later, nerds.
That warding from Team making it so Gunner can scout the Remnant.
That was ridiculous. Very nicely done on both sides, honestly. Although it looks like Lelis might be in for some trouble against Snaking, standing up over here. Roy actually just going to have to go and TP himself out. Lelis still alive, still trying to stay alive, and they're going to be able to go drop the Wukong Command. They'll find the kill over onto IX Mike, and they'll get the kill on Gunner as well. Well, simultaneously, yeah, I was about to say, he just dipped immediately. He's like, all right, I don't want this fight. They might be able to find a little bit more here, although Brack's already moving back, so it looks like they're not going to be too concerned.
Two Cardi's bot and birds, so this is some damage. He's got to resummon those familiars soon. The level 1 familiars are pretty awful. Yeah, there he goes. Double damage on the familiars. He basically just has 4 level 1 familiars now.
So it feels good.
It does feel pretty good. Brax is farming pretty well, but he went for an armlet first. They really want to abuse this early game timing with the Pangolier. They know they're strong with Visage Pango as cores in the early game. But once Francis gets the Blink Dagger, I think the game gets quite a lot harder for Team. But he's quite a ways away from it. In fact, he's not even going for it.
Well, I think there's enough chaos going on in a lot of these fights, especially if, the Monkey King can get, like, the initiation in. You've got, Envy who's going to be able to slide in and out. You've got a lot of options here, so it doesn't necessarily need to go for that Blink Dagger right away. And that's always been one thing about Flea, right? That he's just been very, very good with positioning. We saw it a lot back in the days when his Naga Siren was getting picked up quite a bit, and he'd just, stroll on in, stealing the song of his people, and just the right place, right time.
I feel like he's not going for Blink Dagger, not because he thinks he's going to be able to get a good Black Hole without it. It's because he doesn't care about using Black Hole. I guess, like, they assume that between the Monkey King ultimate with the Echo Saber, which we saw the amount of disable that it was doing in the last fight, between the Ember Spirit with the Searing Chains and going in the fight, like, an OD who's going to have a Shiva's Guard, maybe they feel like they're going to have enough disable, or at least pseudo-disable, to take these fights. And he just needs to tank up, and he wants to play in this top lane, and essentially valuing the fact that if he goes for these aura items and plays this kind of Arcane Boots, Helm of Dominator, old Broodmother-esque Enigma, that it's going to open up more of the map. And then when he does fight, he'll have some crucial auras for, defending against, like, the Lifestealer and the Visage Birds. Because really, like, Crimson Guard is broken versus Visage. Those familiars do nothing through the Crimson damage. In fact, let me look.
It feels like Crimson Guard has just been super good lately, too, against a lot of these heroes that we've been seeing popular in the meta.
Yeah, so, okay, 60 damage, 100% chance to block 60 damage. That's literally the level 3 Visage familiar damage. Familiars do virtually 0 damage with Crimson Guard, although I do believe that the Crimson Guard is it considers reductions. So if you medallion somebody, then, of course, they're still going to take damage, but it's still incredibly good. Like, if you have more than 7 armor and you get Crimson, you take literally no damage from Visage. So that seems like a pretty effective... Yeah, Crimson's been good. Crimson's been good for so long. I think it was just the fact that it costs 0 mana, it makes you so tanky, it considers reductions, it's built using incredibly efficient items, the Vanguard, Buckler, radius was increased to 1200. What a nuts item that is. Although eventually he'll want the Blink Dagger, I think.
No, I agree with that. I think that at the time, though, right now, like, he feels that maybe they're going to be kind of waiting on fighting a little bit, especially when you consider the fact that Envy, is, taking his time right now. All he has is that Drum of Endurance. Doesn't even have his Maelstrom up yet, so maybe figures that he could be a bit greedier, wait a little bit longer in terms of, just getting some other utility items for his team before going in for that Blink.
I mean, yeah, I think you're good with going late game too. Like going for these aura items and going for any sort of farming items in this game would make sense. Any items that would indicate that FP want to go to the late game, because team, what's their late game? It's Lifestealer. Like, Coddle's not that great in the late game anymore. He's got the Ignis Fat Ass, but it's a typical team fight ultimate. You have the.
This is bothering me because I actually cannot remember what it's actually called now because you've called it Fat Ass so many times. Fatus?
Will-O-Wisp. Fatus.
Ignis Fatus? Fatus. Not Fat Ass. I couldn't actually remember. That's how badly that's gotten into my brain now, Jenkins. You've ruined it now for me.
It sounds better.
I'm not disputing that, but still.
I don't know what they were thinking. They could have called it Ignis Fat Ass.
I'm sure there's some sort of Latin behind it, to be quite honest.
Let me Google it.
Google it. We got to pause.
Thank goodness this time that I alt-tabbed, I can tab back in. That's a pretty legit feature.
Oh, it literally means a will-o-wisp. It's a type of will-o-wisp. That's why it said that. Yes.
It's a demon. A ghost. Oh, it's that thing that people see in swamps, and it leads them into walking into like quicksand and stuff.
Yeah. A bog monster or bog lights or whatever.
Exactly. Spooky. Coddle's scary now, man. What the hell? I thought this was a children's game.
Well, it's definitely not a children's game. Hello? Tower does spot out, though, when they find themselves Newsham, who's just obliterated immediately. So that opens up this tier 2 very easily. Roya's still hanging out over here in the jungle. Needs to be careful. IX Mike gonna casually stroll past with the Lifestealer. But this tower is gonna go down.
They're just building all armor. They got Shiva's Guard on OD. They're going Crimson on Enigma. Monkey King's BKB, that's not armor. Yeah, they're building some tanky items. They don't even care about initiation because they know that team is going to come to them. They know that they have this early game lineup. The pressure's on. They need to fight. So why not just be immortal? Why not just be tanky? Interesting.
Oh, nice D ward here by Lilith. I always love that when you're just like, I think they might have vision here, and you drop down a ward, and there it is. There's 100 gold.
Sometimes you just get a feeling. It's like every time I walk through here, the enemy team runs to the other side of the map. It just feels like sometimes people on the map are mimicking your movement or like doing the opposite.
Oh yeah.
Of it.
Well, that's a good support too that notices things like that, or someone else pings it out and says like, yeah, there's definitely vision here the way that they're moving. Gunner.
Oh my God, Gunner!
Gunner. Ooh, the silence and the disarm getting used over onto Flea. That lucky shot, pretty lucky.
I swear to God, the amount of times that I died to that hero on like Weaver, just because
it's very tilting.
It's very tilting. And he can perma-silence you. There just isn't a cooldown on it. You can just keep hitting you, and if he gets lucky enough, he just perma-silences you. Ridiculous.
Alright, looks like Envy gonna have that Maelstrom up and running very, very shortly, so that'll provide a little bit more damage here.
The Flying Penguins are playing this very similar to how J-Storm play their games, where they understand that they have this late game advantage, and they're just kind of playing the map game, and they're doing it really well, and it kind of seems like Team is allowing it to happen, or at least up until this point. Obviously taking Roche is a step in the right direction, for sure.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. You've got, Ice Mike sitting on the outside, and it doesn't even feel like they really care too much right now. Like, they're totally fine with them, having to try to fight into them. Like you said, they've got more of an early game lineup. Oh, but they spot out Newsham over here onto the court, and the swap comes out, and there is not going to be a Coddle available if they decide to go for a fight right now. But looks like they'll back off. They're satisfied with that. You've got Snaking, of course, in the top lane, pushing some damage out, and Yeah, Envy just poking him, I guess. Just for funsies. They do have the vision over here. Mike got to run himself away. Roya doesn't have anything for mobility items, though, so not going to be able to quite grab that Oracle, but should be able to take this bottom tower, put some pressure down. Because, again, they don't have the coddle for another 4 seconds here, although they do find themselves the centaur creep, so that's a nice, hefty 200 gold going over to the side of the team.
That's easy money.
Look how much... Oh, man. Look at the gold that Roya has right now.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I wonder what to get. I really do feel like a blink dagger would be good. I honestly feel like he needs some sort of way to get on top of people. He's been farming, but he's been incredibly passive in this game.
Well, that's why I'm wondering, because he's sitting on so much gold right now, if he is thinking about, you know, possibly picking up that blink, right?
Because I get, yeah, that makes sense. I get not wanting to fight and go late and just say, we'll farm our big items. We don't need to fight. Why would we farm fighting items? Just get big items, go late game, and then win. But at a certain point, you know, you need to fight.
Right.
I imagine that he'll probably go, like, if he does go for another item, it'll be like one more item and then a blink. Maybe a BKB and then a blink. Or some sort of mobility item, at least. Ooh, what a...
There's a swap over here coming out. They've got their eyes over onto Sammy Boy. He is just out of here.
Wow.
Did they swap him on, like, the very edge of that Monkey King ulti, too? Oh, and they get both the birds. Oof.
Wow. That's, I mean, that's 2 huge kills. That's essentially the mid and the carry, the mid and the offlaner, depending on how you want to look at it. Just chilling together. I'm not sure what they're doing.
Oh man, it looks like IX Might has to use his own ultimate on himself to run away here from Snaking. Snaking just trying to put out as much damage as possible to go to pop the shrine. I think he's going to be actually alright here. Yeah, he'll go and pop around, but a little bit spooky there for the Oracle. Nusham channeling up over here on the side. I think they're just going to be patient, not going on this.
Nusham steals the last hits on those creeps with the blinding light damage from Sammy Boy. Sammy Boy had the Alpha Wolf there ready to get those last hits, and Nusham says, no. I'm the keeper of the night. You're not the keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he got his blink. He got his blink for it, so... Ooh, Ryoya. It's very tanky, though. And you're right.
He's got a Lifestealer Bomb in there. There's going to be the Rolling Thunder coming through. They'll buy him a little bit more time over here. But again, he doesn't have anything for mobility. He needs the rest of his team to get here as fast as possible. Where's the swap, Benj? We need some help. Swap! Right? He's not going to... Oh, he's going to get perched into place. They'll find the kill over onto the OD. They'll find the kill over onto Lellis. They'll actually drop the Ignis as well. Snaking has his BKB up and running, though. And they'll be able to... Oh, look at the damage coming out from Snay right now. But he's in for some trouble. He's got to run himself away. These birds chasing him down. Nusham looking for the opening, too. Wants to try to go and land that Illuminate. Still getting chased over here. Will be able to get stunned up, and immediately Sammy Boy, he's got that medallion. He's going to try to slow him down. It's going to be pretty hard to catch this guy, though, but just a little bit more damage should be able to do the trick. They're trying to nuke him down. There's going to be... Oh, he tries so hard to get that Boundless off, and he's not going to be able to.
Goddamn, it seemed like there was a really long time there where they could have TP'd in to help, but they didn't. That's the perfect shrine, or the perfect fight for you, to fight on your shrine.
Envy?
There's no way Envy dies here, right?
No, there's no way he dies here, right? Yeah. Nope, they'll turn back around, they go and drop down the Midnight Pulse. They use the Black Hole just to take down Brax and the Aegis.
It's not like he was going to use it otherwise, though.
That's
true.
So they're able to save Envy.
Yeah, that's good.
Burn the Aegis. And Envy's already back up and running. They find Sammy Boy over here, and they get the slide off. They've got the amount of damage. Can they take him down? And look at these orbs coming out from Ryoya. They just take him out. Take down the birds, too, while they're at it.
Visage is not tanky at all versus OD and Ember. They both just peel through the stacks so quickly of Gravekeeper's Cloak. And even if you didn't on OD, OD loves hitting Bristlebacks and tanky Chaos Knights, and whoever wants to be tanky versus OD, be my guest, you know? I'll steal all of your ints.
These fights have just been so chaotic, it feels, though. Just the way that people, all of a sudden, they just jump in, jump out, lead everyone on a merry chase. Bottom lane, too. You see that Snake King has his eyes over here onto Gunner. He's just going to go right back to farming, though.
He's got his BKB too on Snaking. That's
I've yet to see a really
huge.
polished fight come out from these guys, though. Although we do have a smoke coming through here. No black hole available. BKB actually gonna get popped over here. They've got their eyes again, trying to take down IX. Mikey uses his ultimate on just himself. He's definitely dying for this. For sure. And the Lifestealer trying to run himself away. He's got his eyes over here onto the roof, but of course can't pick it up. They'll find the kill over onto Nusham too. And now it looks like Brax might be in for a lot of trouble. Swap coming out here from Lellis. They need to go and slow him down somehow. Do they have it? Eternal Envy making this rotation. Does have the Searing Chains. And it's going to be Snaking who gets a double kill. How did Nusham go down during all that?
He died solo to Envy top. He was just split pushing, which, yeah,
I don't think he's going to do that again.
It kind of seems like things are falling apart for Team. And I mean,
yeah, I would say so considering. Oh, nice canceling coming out here over onto the Monkey King ulti, but still gonna go drop the Wukong's command, and that's a dead Sammy boy. No buyback on him for 50 seconds.
This just seems like a pressure kind of meltdown situation. I think it feels like Team. They feel like they're a lot further behind than they are. It's only a 3k gold lead. You have a Nakes who's incredibly farmed. You have very capable of winning team fight heroes. But yet it looks so much worse than it is just because they're splitting. Look at this, like IX might getting picked off on his own.
I mean, Envy could be the one who's getting picked off here. He's not careful. Lela's standing nearby just in case, but you know, both of them sitting quite low over on the jungle.
This is when, like, if you're on a team, you just be like, all right, we need to pause. You just say that there's lag or something, and you pause. And you should be like, all right, guys, let's get our shit together. Like, it's important. It's really important to not just. Maybe they had a talk because they're all together now.
A little bit of a mind game coming out here from Lelis. He turned around, and I think they were worried that he had some friends, but the Black Hole's not up for another 7 seconds here. Although, you know, Snaking jumping in, they drop the Ignis. They're going to be able to slide around using Envy. BKB coming out over here, and now they're chasing after Gunner. Snaking trying to find an opening, trying to find someone that he can grab. There's going to be the jump forward, though. They've got their eyes over here onto Barax. They'll be able to knock him down onto the low ground, and that lucky shot coming through, they'll actually be able to find the kill over onto Ryoya. They do have the Black Hole up, but they don't have the damage right now, and everybody's just scattering to the winds. This Radiance burning down Snaking. They'll be able to get a double kill over here onto Barax. Envy's still chasing after IX Mike here, and he's got to be really careful because the rest of the team is going to be making their way over to him right now. In fact, there's going to be the zip away, and it looks like over here Flea just gets hunted down by Gunner. Only one who's left right now is Eternal Envy, and he's got to get out of there as fast as he can. There's going to be the Silence coming out with the lucky shot. He just gets bounced back. They've got the Guardian Greaves. They got everything that they need to do. Can Envy get out this time is the question. I don't know. Turns out he's not going to be able to do it. We've seen some daring escapes coming out from Envy this time, but not this time.
What a game of throws. That could have just been a pickoff. Like, there were a couple of misplaced spells in that fight that were clearly very bad, and then they continued to commit because it's kind of like sunken cost. It's like, all right, well, we've committed this much to killing the Oracle. He's imprisoned. Let's just see it through. You know what I mean? But then you overcommit. Brax has a second rage up, and he just turns and melts your OD, who doesn't have a BKB.
Well, it was sloppy again. These fights have been so sloppy, I feel. In some senses, you know, sloppy in terms of just being all over the place, but, you know, the fact that Team was able to split that fight so much, because, right, you saw Gunnar was just chasing down the Enigma all by himself, while everyone else was focusing their attention over onto the OD and the rest of the team, like...
They were also fighting without the Wukong's command, which has been extremely game-winning up until this point.
Yeah.
They have no Blink Dagger on Francis, so... If you have no Wukong's command to put down in the fight, what the hell are you afraid of if you're team? Not much. Other than, like, the OD, but the OD was just isolated. You can
obliterate the OD fast enough, it doesn't matter anyways.
Right. If OD dies, and there's no Wukong's, and there's no Black Hole, you have nothing to be afraid of. And there's no Black Hole because he has no Blink, and there's no Wukong's because it was on cooldown.
That Radiance is burning Snaking over here. They know that he's over, and there's going to be the jump immediately over onto Brax. They even used the Black Hole. I don't think that was necessary. But, you know, there's a little bit of a skirmish going on over here in the mid lane. And Brax actually going to buy back. They've got their eyes over here on the Vengeful Spirit. They'll be able to go, stun her up, nuke her down. Eternal Envy looking for this opening as Gunner runs himself over to Snaking. Snaking actually just thinking, all right, I got to get out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. We'll just go ahead and TP out. Now, Lelis going to actually get healed by those Purifying Flames as he tries to run himself out. And Gunner is kind of stuck in the trees right here. It's interesting.
That was great for Flying Penguin. You force Brax to buy back, although it's hard to fight this Roche without... Oh, they do have Wukongs. They have Wukongs. The Black Hole is just...
I think they go back in. They go back in. They've got the OD, too, who's got the hammer up. Eternal Envy just going to walk on right in there, get a couple slides off, do a decent amount of damage. They're going to have to go and drop the birds, go and heal them back up again. They don't want to go in. There's going to be the trade-off coming right back. They've got their eyes over here onto Sammy Boy, the jump forward. They've got that coming through. They drop the hammer. There's the Ignis coming out as well now. And it looks like this is not looking good for Envy. He's got to get himself out of there. The slight comes through. He's going to have to go run himself out to a Remnant. Will get silenced up here by Gunner and that lucky shot. Fuel's coming out as well. More silence. That is just a dead Eternal Envy. As the Enigma has to run himself away. Ryoya wasn't even in that fight, it felt, other than just dropping the hammer. Like, it felt like everything got just taken away. And then it looks like Snaking gets knocked down as well.
They took his tree down. Yeah, that, Ryoya being zoned out of that fight, I believe it was like Gunner and IX Mike that were just zoning Ryoya, means that there's just no damage for the fight. And without Black Hole, they really need to have, like, the Monkey King plus the OD. It was just, once again, Team doing a really good job at splitting up Flying Penguins in the fight. Like, they know that OD's to the left. They know that there's a fight happening to the right. So a couple of people commit to the left, a couple of people commit to the right. Without the OD, there's no damage. So you win that fight, and then it's just an OD versus you. And then Snaking has to buy back.
Yeah,
so OD not having this BKB is such a problem for him. Like, he's getting completely zoned.
Yeah, the swap over here onto Gunner, though, will be able to go. Nice save coming out here from that Oracle, trying to keep him alive. Will be able to get himself back just in the nick of time. Yushim coming forward, goes and drops that Blinding Light. They try to go for another swap here. And again, Gunner going to be able to walk away, get fully healed up. This Pangolier is a huge problem for them.
When you Oracle ult Gunner at 10% HP, he gets the Guardian Greaves aura. So he's getting 16 health regen and 15 armor multiplied by what is the multipliers? 2x? Yeah, double. So you get 2x that, except it's as if you were at that low HP for the whole time, except of course if you're not Oracle ult, you can heal faster. It's actually kind of nuts. It's like Huskar Oracle to a lesser degree, where he's like quote unquote at low HP, so he gets all of this regen, and then at the end he's just full HP. Probably regen for about, I don't know, 500. Which
That's actually such a cool like interaction that I didn't think about.
It is, but you have to Oracle ult when Gunner's below 20%. That's the only risky thing. Like, if you Oracle ult him when he's 40%, just, I mean, you'll save him, but it won't give him that the Greaves buff. And then actually the whole time technically he was sitting there with the plus armor as well. 15 extra armor. That's pretty insane.
All right, well, it feels like Flying Penguins. So what do they need to do now? Because it feels like now they're a little bit on the back foot, right? Because there's a bit of a gold lead coming out here for the side of Team, and they're just mowing down these towers too. Feeling very confident.
Blink on Francis. That's what they need. They have many opportunities to get 2 or 3 man black holes in these fights and just completely decimate Team, but without a blink, there's no way. There's absolutely no. They have the OD BKB too. That's gonna help out. Okay, Francis has queued up the blink.
All right. Is it too late though at this point? Is my question.
Nah, never with Enigma. It's never too late. You got the BKB on OD too. I believe.
All right, the swap comes out. They want to take down Brax. Again, he's the one with the Aegis though. Have to be very careful. They drop the Remnant. Seems like they're happy with just taking the tower right now. They're going to back off. Might be a little bit of a fake here.
Yusham's got a gem too, so it's going to be hard to get vision in these fights with him. Like, he can just walk up and deward this Warden Sentry. Francis has got the blink. Smoked up.
All right, this is the time. This is time for the
This could be
The
huge.
perfect black hole. Can we find it here? And they're going to jump back. There's a jump forward coming out from Flea. He's got the opening. He's going to go get the black hole over onto two of these heroes here. They'll be able to go drop the hammer. They'll lose two people right off the bat. Sammy Boy's out of here. So is Nisha, but they're going to lose Eternal Envy here. Brack still fighting through here, trying to find a way to get himself out. They'll take down the Oracle. They'll take down the Pango. And now it's only Brax against the rest of the side of Flying Penguins. And I'm thinking that this is not going to go super well for him. Ryoya actually just hitting some of these illusions, but eventually they'll find the kill. And that's a rampage going out for Ryoya. Look at the tips. That was a beautiful black hole, though, in the middle of everything in the back.
Now, man, Francis refused to get the blink up until that point, and it honestly it kind of baited them because they like saw him as this blinkless enigma who was going for all of these aura items. I mean, that was a 35-minute blink reveal, but
what a reveal, though.
It resulted in a rampage for your OD. So.
Well, there's just so much chaos, and that's what we talked about, earlier on during these drafts is, if you can create enough chaos and you've got an OD, they're going to be focused on everything but him, and he's going to be able to go and just collect all of that, and look at this, he's got 64 stolen intelligence right now on this OD. He hits like a truck, and then you go and you drop that Sanity's Eclipse on top. It's just nasty. He's got his BKB back up again.
The thing with Enigma too is at this point with the Midnight Pulse damage, it's so the black hole's 4.5 seconds technically now, even though it says 4 seconds. It's a visual bug. So 4.5 seconds of Midnight Pulse damage. So he's doing about 25% of people's HP in pure damage, and then 150 damage per second. So this guy's doing like 1 to 2,000 pure damage himself, and then you have OD, who's the AoE pure damage, and then the Sanity's Eclipse. Like, if he can get off a decent black hole on 1 or 2 targets, there's absolutely no way that they survive, especially with the BKB on Ryoya. The only way they've been dealing with Ryoya in these fights is by annoying him. They've been, like, just poking him and keeping him out of the fight, and he knows he can't come in, because if he gets silenced or if he gets stunned, he's just screwed.
Well, I mean, I think that's why you're okay with, Envy kind of getting trucked during that fight, right? Because Envy trying to slide around, trying to just create chaos. But again, it's all about, enabling this OD here to sit back and have everyone dump everything else on the rest of the team, right? And again, you've got great chaos makers. You've got the fact you've got Snake King, he's got the Wukong's Command, you've got the black hole coming out here from Flea. So as long as these like 2 pieces of the recipe continue, it just looks so good for Flying Penguins. Of course, though, if Gunnar, manages to get some really lucky procs off over onto the OD and he doesn't have that BKB up, then that's a huge problem. But I think Ryo is going to be playing this pretty intelligently, where he's not going to find himself getting caught out here. Yeah,
you definitely run into issues when you have like Visage plus Pangolier as cores versus OD Monkey Ember. These are 3 kind of hyper carries. You go to the late game with any of these heroes and you'll be fine. And then you have an Enigma. You have an Enigma who is also a hyper carry. It's like a Tinker, where, he doesn't do right-click damage, but he can 1v5 you, literally, if he gets an Aghanim
Coddle needs to be careful. Newsham TP'd himself home here because they've got creeps in the base, but Envy can very easily just jump on him. Yeah, already he's out.
Dude, if he got silenced, he dies. He has no way of breaking the silence.
Nope, he doesn't.
He's nuts. I'm actually surprised. Like what you were saying about Envy going in and creating chaos. Totally agree. I think it's amazing to have an Ember in this game, but he actually doesn't have any like tanky items. Doesn't have a Yules. Doesn't have some sort of Shivas or anything like that. He's just running in with damage items and doing that. Like he's essentially functioning as both a carry and damage dealer and that space creating Ember just by kind of pressing his buttons right. Like he's going in and he's using Sleight of Fist, he's using Fire Remnants, he's just avoiding taking damage instead of being tanky.
Yeah, he's got like no defensive items coming out here. It's just pretty paper and
1800 HP.
Yeah.
Coddle has like 300 less HP than him. Up the light.
And Coddle has pretty good ways of just getting in and out of these fights too. With the Blink Dagger, he's also got himself a Force Staff, so pretty spooky stuff if you're being that Ember Spirit right now.
Coddle's not an Enigma though, Like this Ignis Fatass, very good in the early game, arguably better than Black Hole, but when you go later and later, you just press BKB and then it's not an issue.
Right.
So he's going for Sheep Stick to try to make up for the lack of BKB piercing disable on the side of team. Maybe even a refresher, although I'm not sure. I think they nerfed it. I think there was a that was like considered a bug. They
no, for the Coddle Ignis, yeah, they made it so before when you got a refresher, it actually flickered, so that way it constantly was on. You were just permanently slept.
Permanently stunned, yeah.
Right. Unless so now with the refresher, it's the same ticking time.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was broken. I definitely took advantage of that in my pubs when that was a thing. Coddle was very good hero. Very hard for your cores to screw up.
I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge fan of that nerf just because I feel like what differentiated the Will-O-Wisp from like a black hole, for example.
Alright, Lilith is nice force step down to the low ground.
Fine, I guess.
It's a little spooky for half a second. They do have a Lotus Orb up and running though over here now over on Gunnar.
Gunnar's just not...
Ooh, what just happened? All right, IX Mike just is no longer a part of this fight. This is a really good opening for them. If they can find any sort of a kill, there's going to be the jump forward coming out here from Gunnar. He's trying to run himself out, but they go, and they've used the Guardian Greaves. There's going to be a black hole, though, being used over here on Sammy Boy. They need to get over there, and they drop the Wukong's command. There's also the Ignis coming through, but Sammy Boy will get taken down. BKB getting used from Flea. Gunnar trying to just roll himself up to this high ground. We'll be able to find it. Ryoya is there, though, and waiting. They don't have the gem, though, over here just yet. They have to try to find him through that Glimmer Cape. They'll be able to go, trying to use that Yule's, buys him a little bit more time. The Boundless not going to be able to connect here. Swap coming out here from Lellis. They really want this kill. They want to bag him and tag him now, and that's going to be another kill going out here for the side of Eternal Envy. The buyback coming out from Coddle. He's going to force staff himself forward. He needs to be really careful, though. Lellis also going to get stunned up, trying to run himself away. There's going to be the shield crash coming through, but Ryoya is standing nearby, says, you get away from my Vengeful Spirit. I want none of this. The jump coming out here again. Snake King, they've got the stun, though, over here onto this OD, but in the middle of all this Wukong, Snake King is just going to town. They get the kill over with Envy. They drop the hammer, and now Gunnar, he's going to try to buy himself just a little bit more time. Can he get away from that orb? He's not going to be able to. That is 4 heroes on the side of Team that are not going to be in this game right now, and if they're not careful, they might just go for the throne here.
All right, Nusham, I believe in you. All
right, Nusham, let's see these skills. Oh, Envy chases them down, and they get another kill. The GG comes out. Flying Penguins 2-0ing Team yet again. We'll be going to the grand finals.
That's it. One of those two teams is going. There's some all chat going on.
Oh yeah,
I mean that was like a team had obviously in the first game more so like they had glimmers. I mean they had glimmers of hope in this game. In the first game, it looked like they were gonna totally crush Flying Penguins in the series. They looked very strong.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for Team because it felt like that one team fight really just screwed them over super hard.
I can't help but feel that the draft in the second game was kind of silly. Like not something that they would normally be comfortable playing against a team of this caliber, but since it's the last potential game of the entire tournament, they're like, you know what, we'll just do something crazy, you know? Because like Brack's not playing Pango, Brack's playing Lifestealer, Sammy Visage is kind of normal stuff, but Gunnar not on some Ember Spear, just playing like Pangolier. I don't know, it's totally different from anything else that I've seen from them. And I feel like if they had just the first game's draft and they didn't throw, that they would have a much better chance. But there's so much mental stuff that goes on when you're playing on a team like this and you're in the lower bracket and you throw a game. Like I think it was Gods that says, like, he said one time, like there's almost no coming back from that.
Yeah.
When you it feels too bad. It's very rare that a team comes back from that just because mentally it's like we're all human, you know what I mean? There's no way to make your brain not feel really bad about that and change your gameplay in the next game.
Well, I mean, that's definitely something that, you know, a good captain has to struggle with in trying to, you know, get the mentality back on his players should that happen. But unfortunately,
that's why Kyle's a god, dude. That's why Kyle's a god, because that guy's the king of pep talks.
I don't know. I think Kuroki is the king of pep talks. And have you seen Seb? Have you seen Seb the way that he, you know, in the true site, man? These guys. There's a reason why they're, you know, considered so good and why people listen to them. They're very inspiring.
Sure, okay, I get it. But it's like the I guess I'm thinking like the NA pep talks like different. You know, Kyle's the king of NA pep talks, like the kind of locker room. I'm not going to go too deep into this like analogy, but
right.
He's the king of NA pep talks. Those other guys are just like TI winners, but whatever, it doesn't matter. You know, just TI winners.
Got it. All right. Well, congratulations going out to the side of Flying Penguins. They've secured themselves a spot against J-Storm tomorrow. And this is another match that we've seen quite a lot of in the regional qualifiers. We've seen it several times now. So the next question is, can J-Storm, take them out in a 3-0 victory? Because that's kind of what happened last time, I believe. Might have been, actually, no, it was a best of 3, and I think it went 2-1. Where Flying Penguins had a glimmer of hope, but unfortunately weren't able to secure themselves a spot in that major. But, this is their chance. This is their chance to come back and show what they're made of. So we'll be having that game tomorrow. I believe it is a best of 5 with the winner from the upper bracket having 1 game advantage. But that will be between J-Storm and Flying Penguins tomorrow at 1800 Eastern Standard Time, guys. So more NA Dota coming at you tomorrow. Thank you so much, Jenkins, for being a spectacular co-caster. I always learn a lot when I'm working with you. And that is gonna be it from us today, guys. So thank you so much for watching and supporting NA Dota, and we'll see you tomorrow.